Alright guys, so just like I promised, I'm going to begin from time to time just doing some free live trading videos on this channel. So what I can see here, let's just kind of get right into it. We're looking at Euro USD this morning. Alright, so if you guys remember last week, or in the third video of Trade of the Day, I was talking about this setup right here and how unfortunately it occurred super late Friday. We trapped this low, realigned bullish, and continued higher, taking out this point here. So looks like we did that. We actually opened the market with a gap, but this is also why I just don't try to hold positions over the weekend if I can avoid it, because while this would have been a favorable gap, it also could have easily worked against us and gap down here, and we would have been in a huge loss, right? So it's really just not worth taking those type of positions. So yeah, let me just go ahead and look at what we have here. So what I like to do at the beginning of every week is I like to mark up my weekly high, and this is one of my favorite setups, most profitable setups for sure. It's something I'll talk about in a future video, but the general setup I look for here, I'll go ahead and just do it real quick. Let's say this is last week's price action, right? And let's say that this here is last week's high, right in here. What I like to see is I like to see price come down, take that weekly high, retest that weekly high to bring in break and retest traders, then come break this high one more time, because that brings in breakout and confirms the trade for break and retest traders. So what that's going to do, sorry, I'm still a little bit tired here, just waking up this morning, but what that's going to do is that's going to bring in stop losses. Then when you get a little break of structure, we're good to enter shorts. And typically weekly lows do, and they present some pretty good opportunities, some pretty good RR. So your short would be right here, just for example. So that's what happened. If you look here, we had our price action from last week, right? We took out last week's high. We came and we retested it, and then we brought in breakout right here with this whole move right here. So what that does is that brings in stop losses. Let's get rid of this. We now have stop losses, buyers. There we go. We now have stop losses sitting like this, right? Which have already been liquidated, but here was our break. I like to mark it up with a green line. That just kind of gives me, green light. That was this break, what I'm referencing right in here. So this entry that I'm talking about is right in here, from this area, and then just cover the highs. There was our short, and this will definitely look like it's going to be trade of the day, but that'll be a whole separate video. Obviously that occurred during London, right? So we kind of missed that trade, but it's okay. Just going to delete that. Well, actually, before I delete that, what a lot of times happens for re-entries, right? So let's just say we have this position in, okay? Now what I'm looking for is, let me just edit this actually. Okay. Now let's say price was doing stuff like this. That's how it was trading now. What I would love to see, and that's kind of what it's doing, it's forming a little channel. I would love to see some sort of a fake bullish break of structure, because a lot of traders, what they be doing is they look at this and they say, oh, that's a change of character. Now we're going to buy and go long, 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 which is completely false. What I would love to see is for that to occur, so then I can then enter here to continue taking the market short. So this right here would almost act as a trap of sorts, right? That's exactly what I would love to see. So let's just go ahead and see. I'm going to leave this up for reference. Sometimes this trade here will also be divergent with the RSI. So the RSI, this tool, right? Let's say it was over here, the peaks would be diverging. So if we get that opportunity, I can go ahead and look at that. But as of now, there is nothing too much that I see going on. I see this little bit of a channel being formed, but it's nothing too significant, really. We do have news coming at about an hour. So yeah, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to sit here, set some alerts, and then I'm just going to go ahead and move on with my morning and just kind of leave the stream recording, just so you guys can really see that this is full-on live trading, that there's really just no bullshit here, because it really can be done. So look, we're getting a sort of break like we see over here, right? Maybe ideally we could come up right into here, and that would generate more opposing liquidity down here. We just got to stay patient. That is the name of the game. You're never going to be a successful trader if you cannot stay patient. And trust me, I've learned that the hard way, unfortunately. It took me losing money in order to truly learn that. But if that's what you need, if that's what it takes for you to hammer that idea through your skull, then that is what's got to be done. Unfortunately, every trader has their own journey. It's just about learning from your mistakes and not repeating them. And that's what I'm here for, guys. I just want to be able to provide value so that you guys are not making the same mistakes that I was making. And I'll just save you time in the long run, right? You can learn from my strategy, how I trade. And if you join my Discord community, there will be a lot more value. You'll get this privilege of live trading 3 times a week. And for Platinum members, they will get one-on-one morning trading with me from time to time. So yeah, as of now, looks like we are doing something here. We're getting some volume coming in, which is what I like to see, some volume in the opposing direction. Let's just see where it kind of stops. You can always drop to that 1 minute time frame. You just kind of watch, see what happens. We've definitely trapped this high, which is nice. But this is just still not enough to go on. It's not really a confirmed trade. We now have a little bearish block that printed here. Still nothing to go on though. It's not that clean, but something is brewing. We also still have news in about 25 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens. Okay, guys, so if you recall this little schematic that I illustrated over here, we've now had our trap. So this was the initial, and this entry right here is this right here. We're now sitting here. We have our trap zone. Now we're gonna get to see a nice live execution. It is about time. We have waited a long time to go ahead and enter some trades. We missed the London trade. Now that we've had this trap, which is this little trap I'm referencing here, shorts are a green light again. And the only problem is I just don't like these wicks. They're a little bit annoying because you should put your stop loss up there. It just makes your position bigger. As long as it's below 10 pips, it is what it is. And then we can just continue taking it short. Not the most ideal. But we're gonna go ahead and record a live execution here. Just so you guys can see exactly how I'm trading every single day. Just gotta wait for it to be a little bit more. Ideally, we come back up into this wick. That would be somewhere up here. But once we break this low here, we are confirmed into shorts. And then, quite honestly, the entry would be here. This is our zone. It's big. What you can do sometimes is you can do, so in this case, I just have to lower my risk a little bit. Instead of doing a 20 lot position, I'd have to do a 10 lot position because it's just half of what I usually risk. But I'm going to go ahead and wait for the confirmation. I like to see us realign. The only way I'll take this trade is if we react out of here, which looks like we are. This is perfect. Come into here, somewhere in this vicinity, hopefully a little deeper than when we're in. Just a little bit unfortunate. It's, bit of a big position, stop loss wise. But this is ideal. Maybe we can trade right back up into the wick. Okay, so we're filled here at 7-2. Unfortunately, yeah, the stop just has to be up here. It's not the prettiest, but you don't need pretty to be successful. You know, you don't need there are trades where I'll get a nice 4 pip stop loss, but this just wasn't one of them, and that's fine. But we are filled at 7.2, right? And 7.04. So it's a little bit of a late, I guess you could trade, you could be aggressive and enter up on the wick, but there's no point in doing that. So we're in the trade now. Trade I'm referencing right here. Oops. Like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and, there was when I discussed this, we were a little bit earlier on in the morning. So all of this price action in here, I'm just going to fast forward the video through that right up until the entry. And now that we're in the trade, what I'm going to go ahead and do is the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just speed up the video to the points where only to the points where I'm talking, kind of where we watch the trade. So just for target purposes, we want to at least be a 1 to 2, right? So it's somewhere into this gap, or, quite honestly, right up here is a beautiful, beautiful target for first partials, right? Let's put that top right. Oh, maybe bottom. Perfect. So I'm going to set an alert on that. And let's see here. This here is going to be a trap zone. Let's go ahead and watch. And this is just something I'd like to reinforce. The way I got good at trading is not by going every day and looking at what happened, but it's by doing this, by sitting here from market open in, New York typically, because I'm based in Texas. But by sitting here from the moment it opened at 7 a.m. my time until 10 a.m., which is kind of when the market starts. That's when, by then London's closed and market's typically a little slow. The main moves happen during crossover. But that's how I get good at trading. I didn't get good at trading by saying, oh, one day I'm going to show up and it's just all going to click because I've looked at the market after each trading day. When I do these trade of the day videos, I'm trying to show you guys the most optimal entry. But the way I learned to find that most optimal entry, it's not by looking every day. That helps implant the image, what you're looking for, the setups you want to see in your mind. That's important too. The real work is done here live. Being able to sit down here and see this happen. Watch that news come in, right? We see that news candle. I told you earlier we're gonna have news at 9. And that's what we're waiting for. We're just waiting for our trap, waiting for what we expect, what we know happens because we've seen it over and over and over again. The reason I know and I'm confident in this, and this what I drew, and that I can just draw it like it's second nature, is because I've seen it over and over and over again. This happens every week on at least one pair. And if you want to keep trading simple and not really get into all the intricacies of trading and the real money, not even the real money, if you just want to keep it simple and, let's say you just to keep it as a side hustle and not be a full-time trader, this right here is all you need. This exact setup. off weekly highs. Weekly high right here. Oh, that is a crazy, crazy arrow. I can't draw an arrow. Okay. Weekly high. London trade. New York trade. Typically on the day that whatever day the weekly high is swept. Sometimes one day will sweep it. The next day will be the break and retest. And that's when you enter. But this is how I know. There we go. We finally drew an arrow. The way I know that this is going to happen is because I've seen it happen over and over again, and that's what you need to do. That's the level of competence that you need to achieve to really be taking money out of the markets. It's, you need it to just be, okay, I've seen this, X has occurred, therefore Y will occur. It's just probability, it's math at the end of the day. And if you have the correct risk to reward ratio, there's no way you're not successful. Even if you lose, you could lose 10 trades out of 20 and still be wildly profitable. You could have a 50% win rate and still be a full-time trader, living your absolute best life, the life you deserve. And that's what needs to happen. But you just need to show up every day and put in the work. And I promise you there's no way you fail. Especially if you follow the things I'm teaching you here on this channel and learn from the way I trade, there's no way you fail. It's just improbable. In fact, I'd be willing to put money on the fact that you wouldn't fail, especially if you allow me. If you join the Discord and you learn from me every single day and are able to ask me questions, and which, by the way, the Discord is completely free to join. I told you that this is something I want to do. I want to help people get to the same level I'm at and achieve the same quality of life that I have achieved through this. And there's nothing to lose. Just join and start learning the real way the market works, because I hate to break it to you, but the way you've been taught in the past, if you are continuously a losing trader, those methods just don't work. Simple as that. You are the liquidity. You are the trader that I target in my trades. I guarantee you right now there's someone trying to buy from here. Someone probably already has their limit set, honestly, right here. You know how I know that? In the past, this would be me. I would have seen, oh my God, such volume. Oh my God, yes, bullish break of structure to the moon. I would have a limit set. This is exactly where I would be trying to enter in the past. You know what would happen every time? It would give me a reaction, and then I'd lose every time. So what we could have happen here, come down, trade back up into this area, maybe stack another short, and then continue. Or it's just going to smoke the zone. Those are the only two options. It either directly smokes it or gives a reaction. If it does give a reaction, then there could be something in here. But again, we've already got a trade. There's no point of me taking another position because this one's not at break even yet. So there's a little bit of a let's drop to the 1 minute so we can see the reaction. If anything, possibly in this. But I don't like these type of trades because you just got to put your stop loss above this ugly wick. So this is just for learning purposes. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video from here though. Back to the 5. Isn't it just lovely when you're on the right side of the market? So beautiful. Never going to complain about money in the bank account, are we? Oh, old me would have been so sad right now. I would have been praying for this trade to go in my direction, you know? Like I said, this is how most of the world trades. This is their confirmation to enter longs because they don't understand the true intentions behind the market. They don't understand the bigger picture. They don't understand this and this. They don't understand that in order to continue trading in the direction we want to trade in, opposing liquidity needs to be generated, which is exactly what happened right here. And once you understand that, once you learn that's how the market moves and that's how the market operates, it'll never get easier. So right now we are sitting at a good $1,400 profit. And I do want to leave profits off the table. I don't want to talk about that too much, but I do want to keep it transparent on how much I'll make per trade. Because you really don't need you see these people posting $40,000 trade, and that does happen. I know people who trade that much and make that much money, but they also have $1 million accounts. They're not trading on $100,000 or $200,000 account. Anyone who tells you that they're making that type of money on a 100K account is definitely lying to you, or they are over leveraging their account, which is a one-way stop to having it all blow up in your face. Not over leveraging is one of the best things you could do, because the moment you start over leveraging, you increase stress. You just add too much emotion to your trading. And when you're trading, you want to be like a robot. You want to have you want to see X, and when X occurs, you execute, and that's it. Like, no emotion. You just trade. When you see what you want to happen, or what you want to have happen rather, like I said, this is what I wanted to see happen. This is what happened. No hesitation. Because imagine I hesitated. I'm like, oh no, maybe I'm going to wait. No. I didn't like this fill. This wasn't the greatest entry. I would have loved to enter up here. Sure. It doesn't matter. I'm still in the trade. I'm still making money. And when we look at overall targets, this is just good place to first partial. You could maybe take it all the way down here, but we'll just see. I'm also personally completely all right with just closing it here, because 30 pips, that'll be around 3 grand. I don't really care to let this reverse and take me out at break even, if I'm going to be honest. Well, I can totally just see that. This is so funny to me, because this, like, remember I said this is where I used to enter longs, right? And then I'd see this. I would see this little reaction, and I'd say, oh my god, it's going to work in my favor. Oh my god. Nah. That's just the last glimmer of hope. There's no way that holds. All right, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here, rather than just leaving it on, you know, leaving the stream on and just watching each candle play out, what I'm going to go ahead and do is probably end the stream right here, end the live recording, and I'm just going to go ahead and edit. I'm just going to go ahead and edit later the result of this trade. So, let's just say price is going to chop around, whatever, come here. This is the result, but that might take 3 hours more. At the end of the day, when I record the trade of the day video, I'm going to just do the result of this. But we've seen the live entry. That's the most important part, is we've got the live entry played out. We've seen it happen. And we can go ahead and learn I mean, I'm saying y'all can go ahead and learn from, well, how I trade. We'll keep this zone here because I already know this is going to be a trap zone. It's just these zones take time to go ahead and blow sometimes. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So we'll go ahead and discuss the remainder of what happens in this trade later on in the day. The entry's already there, so that's the most important part, is that you guys saw how I enter, why I enter, right? And we'll go ahead and discuss the rest later on. Okay, so here we are. We're at our first zone of partials. We've got our 1 to 2. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and record on my phone real quick. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I take partials. So typically in this case, I'm going to go ahead and close off half my position. So I'm going to go ahead and close out 5 lots. And that is going to, let's see, that's going to book us 1.5K, right? Which is not too bad at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and set a target. So we've already got our profit. Now I'm going to go ahead and target all of this in here. It's definitely a nice support resistance zone that there could still be people trying to buy from. So that's going to be my ultimate or final take profit at 06930. We'll just go ahead and let it play out. Now that we've booked our profits, I'm going to go ahead and set my alert down here. And I'm just going to get back to going about with my day. So I will go ahead and give you guys another update later on in the day. All I ask is that you stick around, watch these videos every day, and just hammer these concepts into your mind and know that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to sit there and show up. Consistency will beat inconsistency any day of the week. Any day of the week. Remember that. And I know you guys can do it. You just got to stay focused. And I believe in you.